Hello Year 9s. This is an extra Year 9 options assembly for media studies, just for those people who missed the Tuesday session. Okay, so just a bit of kind of important information first. If you were to choose this subject and to start in September of this year, 2021, just to let you know that this course is currently run as a BTEC. It's a technical award in creative media production. So it's not a GCSE, but it's an equivalent qualification. The reason why we choose the BTEC is because it's a little bit more practical, and we prefer the way that the course is set out with regards to coursework and exam. So the coursework is 60% of the overall qualification, and it's split up into two pieces of coursework, two components. The first one you complete in year 10, and then component 2 is completed in year 11. And then at the end of year 11, there is an exam that's worth 40%, and that's called component 3. So there is coursework, which takes up a big chunk of the course itself, but there is an exam at the end of it as well. So just to give you guys a bit of an insight into the kind of work that is produced for this particular course, we are currently running our year 11 component 2 component by focusing on music videos. So this is a video that was created very, very recently, actually. So as you can see, that is the kind of work that's been created by a year 11 from the current cohort in school at the moment. She prepared all of her work before Christmas in school. So she understood music videos, she understood the genre of the music that she wanted to focus on. She became a bit of an expert in that. She planned her video, she had lots of ideas, and even with the kind of problem with lockdown and being stuck at home just after Christmas, she was still in a position to get something done. So I think she's done an absolutely fantastic job.
So what is media anyway? Media refer to various channels of communication between a person or persons and their intended audience. Television, radio, newspapers, and the internet are different types of media. One of the oldest forms of media is print. Thanks to ever-changing technology, our exposure to media is almost non-stop. Media shapes our perception of what is real. It surrounds us in the forms of billboards, signage, and even the clothes you wear. We have radios, televisions, computers, and smartphones. We have the internet, online video channels, and all sorts of social media. So stop and look around. Media is everywhere, and it's not going away anytime soon.
So this is a question I get asked quite a lot, not just in this school, but where I've taught it before. And the question always is, so what is media? And it depends on what school you go to, what course they're running. There could be lots of different options in terms of what you actually study for media. But typically in our school at the moment, we are focusing particularly on films, magazines, social media, apps, and computer games for year 10. And then the focus is heavily on music videos towards year 11. But within that realm, the choice really is down to you. So I don't tell you what film to choose or what magazine to choose. Actually, there's quite a lot of independent choice with regards to that. So what experience do you need to take this course to start in September? Well, actually, nothing. Everyone in media studies starts off at exactly the same level. So that's the kind of the nice thing about this course. In terms of careers in the media, there's actually quite a few things you could go into. For example, anything from a journalist, a photographer, into advertising, an editor, a sound engineer. So there are some really practical jobs involved in that as well. But there are other subjects that actually media complements really well. So media studies goes well with any other option subjects such as graphic designs, art, music, drama, performing arts, ICT and English. So it kind of balances out heavier subjects, probably because of its more practical element. So I've got lots of students who are currently taking photography, and that skill actually transfers really well into media studies. It complements other subjects such as sociology and citizenship, just because of the theory behind media as well. And I am actually a specialised English teacher as well. So the writing side of things, actually, you would utilise and hone in on those skills that you would be focusing on for your GCSE English as well. So the work. I think there's kind of this idea that we just watch films and videos and whatnot in media studies, and that could be further from the truth. In fact, year 10 is very much theory based. So we look at lots of different theories very early on at the start of year 10, and then we start to apply some of those theories to our own media products that we've chosen. Like I said before, if you've chosen your favourite film or you've chosen a magazine aimed at teenagers, you start to apply those theories that you've learned. We look at lots of different theories that focus on areas such as audience, narrative, genre, characters, and apply them to the media text that we know well. So year 10 does have a lot of writing, and ideally you would have some kind of computer access at home, because everything is pretty much done through Google Classroom at the moment. And then the work in year 11 is actually much more practical. Obviously, like I've said, you move on to component 2, but it still has to be backed up with good research, and there is a written evaluation at the end. So you don't escape the writing entirely, but there is a little bit more practical with a bit of writing. So this time you would be doing a little bit more planning and preparing. You'd be filming and collecting your footage and then editing it together. But also you need to understand the concept of music videos and how artists are represented. And then obviously, like I've told you before, in year 11 at the moment, we are currently working on music videos. There has been kind of discussions about whether to change that. The GCSE that was running a few years ago focused on horror movie posters and magazine covers. I have considered changing it to horror trailers like I did with my old school, but actually the music video coursework is running quite nicely at the moment. Due to the pandemic that we find ourselves in at the moment, currently I've got year 11s, actually gave them the choice and changed the brief so that some were able to work on music videos, but just for this year, some have been able to work on magazine front covers as well. So there is an exam at the end, and themes have ranged anything from media jobs, so creating a careers type video. Last year was a media cafe, which was actually very vague, but the idea was that the students had to create a promotional advert that you would kind of see on TV that promoted a media cafe. There was no such thing as a media cafe, so it was very much students creating the media cafe from scratch, the location, what it offered, that kind of thing. And then this year's topic, which again is not running because the exam's postponed or not on for this year's year 11, but it was a promotional advert focusing on getting teenagers to understand the environment and climate change and what we could be doing to make the world a better place, which was quite a nice theme, I thought. So before you make your decision, you do need to make sure it is the right decision. So if you are scared of doing any kind of writing and you just think it's a completely practical course, you might need to rethink that idea. It is fun, but it can be challenging, especially when we're trying to get that theory side really well understood. We do not spend our time watching films or making pretty pictures. The whole of component 1 in year 10 is largely written essay writing and theory. But please come and talk to me if you have got any questions, or obviously because of the bubbles, you might not be able to find me that easily, but my email address is at the bottom of that PowerPoint, and I'll put it on the show my homework as well. But I hope this has kind of answered maybe some of those burning questions. Yesterday in the assembly, some students were asking about whether we did some day trips. Day trips are definitely available. We've also had companies come in to work with us as well. So last year we had a media company, they were a market research company that came in and worked with year 10s and 11s on how it is that a product comes about. We liaised with that company really nicely. And so just before the pandemic, we actually arranged to go into their offices in Shoreditch, but obviously that never materialised because the pandemic pretty much put a stop to everything. However, there's lots of things that are running online at the moment. So last week, the year 10 were taking part in a session that was run by the British Film Institute, where they took part in a seminar that was about Attack the Block, the film from about 10 years ago that's a sci-fi comedy. So that was really good. So there are opportunities out there. We're just trying to make the most of it while we're kind of stuck in this pandemic lockdown. But maybe by the time you choose the course, we might actually be able to arrange something that takes us off-site. It's 3 hours a week. I think it's the same with most of your option subjects, and it's based in the computer room. So like I say, you need to make sure you've got access to a computer at home, and that you have access to earphones that use the jack on the computer, and that you have a USB. Cool. Okay, thank you.